I'm having a moment. A moment to think about the BMW M3, and I'm not sure yet if it's a good moment. So I've decided to try the latest G80, if you like model codes, M3, to see if it can help soothe my slightly troubled nerves. So, this is, well, it's too old to say latest, but the current M3. 530 horsepower, 479 pounds-feet, 3-litre straight six, turbocharged engine, means 0 to 62 in 3.5 seconds. And it feels like an M3 straight away. This is what's been troubling me. The M3 is a car that you kind of have to love. You might not approve, it might not be for you, but it's got that thing. My favourite cars, 911s, GTIs, fast forwards, all of those cars. This absolutely has earned its place amongst them in that kind of starry landscape of legendary cars. My concern is, where's it going? BMW have launched their new Classa. It does mean that the i3 will replace the 3 Series and it's electric. There will be an electric M3 with 1 billion horsepower or something. Okay, there'll be a petrol one alongside it, but just, you've got to consider the breed. When somebody reinvented the Defender, every reinvention of the 911, designers must feel, all of us, you and me, crowding and leaning over their shoulder. What are you going to do with this? This is a car that you don't have to own one to feel quite proprietorial about it as a car enthusiast. I'll confess here and now, slightly embarrassing, I've never owned an M3. And now I'm slightly worried that, am I going to run out of time to own one as I know them? To own a car that brings together that unique recipe of small, incredibly nimble, very fast German saloon. The whole idea of this is you could take the kids to school, they'd complain that the ride was a bit bumpy, then they'd get out and you'd laugh all the way to work. We talk about geometry, and there's suspension geometry, there's angles and planes and all of that. But there's also geometry of the car. Where do I sit relative to the front wheels, the rear wheels, the steering wheel? And in an M3, that recipe has always been just right. I mean, this is heavy. It's getting on for 2,000 kilos. You wouldn't know it. It still feels light and nimble. When it was first launched, the world did a sort of collective sick. It looks like a predator with a toothache, sort of stretched and drawn over a skull-like face. But when I first walked out to this car this morning to drive it, I thought it looked great. The world changes, perceptions change, and BMW have a history of being pretty clever at that. Sometimes too clever for their own good. They'll design something that's kind of ahead of its time. They've seen the direction we're going aesthetically, and they've leapt ahead to the stage after the next one, which means we all recoil in horror. And then slowly over time, slightly shamefacedly go, yeah, actually, I think it looks really good. I think this does. Anyway, the toys. There are lots and lots. I can change gearbox settings, steering settings, traction control settings, drive settings, and there are just so many settings. All I want to do is get in and drive it. There are 2 handy buttons on the wheel, though, M1 and M2. If I press these, it's a shortcut. Like everything else, in the motoring world and everywhere else in the world, the M3's got bigger and heavier. 1,855 kilos is a lot for an M3, but I'm just not detecting that. Combination, I'd say, well, it's the suspension. I can feel little lumps and bumps that I wouldn't expect to feel in a heavy car. And the body control, which is absolutely superb. I'm very, very glad I've driven this car today. There was a sense of panic, but I've reminded myself, no, this is still an M3. The looks have grown on me and countless others. It still has that M3 essence, a very fast, very capable saloon. My alarm bell is still ringing that maybe this is the end of the line, and maybe we need to do something about that to capture and preserve the spirit and essence of the M3. It is a legendary car, and that needs to be saved and preserved. It's kind of my social duty. What I really want is a smallish, lightish saloon that does what the M3 used to do. Something like the old E30, but maybe with a few mod cons. hang on, I've got something that might work for this. I've got an E90 3 Series hidden away. Yeah, it is a little underwhelming at first glance. What you might be seeing is an elderly 320 E90 sitting on 3 flat tyres, slowly mouldering away in my garage. And you'd be right, but I see more. What I see here is potential. Modern cars, even this one, are doing a lot more thinking than they used to. Computers all over the place in here are constantly talking to one another. Engine, brakes, gearbox, and so much more. Every system on the car is in a constant conversation, checking in. It's fascinating and completely invisible, which I think is unfair, because I hate being left out of a conversation. I'm Carly's brand ambassador because I believe the Carly app and scanner are a great way of taking the guesswork out, breaking into that conversation, giving you a chance to hear what your car can tell you. Right, we plug the scanner into the car and then wake the car up. Morning. Take out telephone. Car is being checked. This might take a couple of minutes. Oh, it's 7% in and it's found 17 issues. Does feel like I'm breaking into the system. Show results. Right. Dynamic stability control, 6 issues. Air conditioning has an issue. Car access system, 2 issues. So that's all messages being sent between different systems. But this system can also look into live data, actually what's happening in the here and now. To do that, I need to start it. Yeah, excuse the interior. As I've said, this is work in progress, this car. I have plans. This is real-time live data. It's not a static report. Exhaust camshaft position and much, much more. I can select what I want to look at. Right, I'm going to turn it off now because I've pushed my luck running it as long as I have already. At the moment, it's all coming this way. So now the interesting bit, I can talk to the car. And that's where it gets really fascinating. So now we move into the realms of coding. This is where the conversation turns around and I can talk to the car. But this car left the factory with the ability to have a digital readout speedo. It just wasn't switched on. But using this, I can switch it on. Right, code now. I'm commanding you to switch on your digital dash speedo. So if I turn the ignition off and on again, and there it is, MPH. That gives me a digital speedo readout that I didn't know I could have. My car has just gained a new feature. Understanding what's going on with your car means you can fix problems early before they become expensive surprises or breakdowns. Carly's a great tool to keep with your car, to keep that conversation going. Plus, it makes you feel clever. I've learned to speak a new language. Car. If you're interested in becoming a car brain surgeon like me, go to the Carly website. You can use my code Richard15 for a 15% discount. The link is in the description. Right, back to the main video where you'll see more of, well, of me. So, over to me. Thank you, me. Yeah, there is work to be done on that car, no doubt, but it did get me thinking, what did I want from an M3? It was always a fairly simple proposition. Small, nimble car, punchy motor, and it seems funny about quite a serious, somber, very fast German saloon. But it always had a sort of cheekiness about it. I'm sure some owners of M3s won't like me saying that, because it's the last thing you want to appear, cheeky. But it kind of did. Because it did that dual-purpose thing so well. Well-built, solid, sensible German saloon that goes like merry hell. It was also a little bit of a status symbol. If you'd got an M3, you'd done all right. Well, you're going to have to have done all right in this instance. We should talk about money. Base model is just under 84 grand. This, which has been spec'd up, 97, you're only one wafer-thin option box tick from 100 grand for a BMW. I know, inflation happens. I'm quite old, so there's been a lot of inflation over the decades, but all the same, I think it's getting out of control here. Yeah, that smile's genuine. It's doing that thing. Is this an M3? Yes, it is. Is there something worrying lurking in the background that soon there might no longer be an M3 in the world? I've got to say yes, there is. I think maybe we as enthusiasts need to be ready. And I've maybe got an idea with that old E90 of mine. Maybe there's something I can do with that to capture and preserve forever the flavour of the M3. It doesn't have to be any particular one, any particular generation of the old legend. It could just combine what it was about M3s that we've all always loved. This is a very good car.